Hello, 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 and welcome back to another episode of Kicking It with KeKe, Life, Love, and all that other shit. I am your host, Kiki Chanel. We are with a special guest today, and you guys know how I like to do. I like to give my guests the opportunity to introduce themselves, so I'm going to turn it over to her. Hey, Jessica, thank you for coming to kick it with me today.
Hi, thank you so much for having me on. I go by Jesseca Maria. You can call me either or, whichever one. Well, I like to do a lot of different things in this world. I may not be single, but I definitely am bilingual, and I may not look like it, but I am a multifaceted lady. I also go by a healer, an entrepreneur, and native Spanish speaker, multilingualist lady,
Nice.
goofy weirdo, pure heart, a little rough on the edges. Do my best in this world, but I've been through some stuff. I've seen a lot of things. And again, been through some stuff, and I'm just grateful to have grown and overcome the things that I have and not only survive, but thrive from everything that I've experienced in this world. And like I was saying, some days are easier than others. And
Mm,
there is just a different way to experience this life. Life doesn't have to be this hard, and it is supposed to be a beautiful experience. And I would love it if more women, especially women, would feel happier and more joyous and safer and free. That's
mm,
I'm not immune to the fears of what humans can do.
right.
And it's, something easier said than done. Um, but it's my profound belief that if more women were to feel more secure, confidence, a deeper relationship with the higher power of whatever their choice is,
Uh-huh.
and were to expand and grow a business through that where they're helping other people, we would have more peace on earth. That was a very
Absolutely.
long introduction. My apologies.
Oh, you're fine. You're
I got
fine.
carried
Listen.
away.
Look, I love it. I love it. So you wear hats. I want to talk about this semi-retired RN. How are you
Yeah.
semi-retired? How
Well,
tell about that a little bit.
retirement is a mindset. I'm retired, you know? God is my source of income. People are like, how
Okay.
do you make money? I'm like, why don't you mind your damn business for one thing? Um, it's
Right.
so many silly questions that people ask, and humans are curious, and that's
Hmm.
by nature.
Hmm.
But society has programmed us to be curious in the dumbest ways.
Yes.
And no insult to anyone whatsoever. But there's a lot more interesting ways. It's like I have a thing about asking questions, and over the years, I do a lot less question asking, but
Hmm.
I just allow spirit. I think of something in my mind, and literally what I want to know is told to me
Oh,
by
wow.
a person of whatever kind. But if I go with the flow in terms of because everyone is different. We can be ourselves as much as possible, but we need to be able to be a shapeshifter in
Hmm.
different situations because um, certain behaviors or certain ways that we act, could possibly give us a different result, but it always comes down to whether we care or not and how much we hold on to that for our self-worth. But no, it's being retired is a mindset. It's not about, oh, I can't wait to retire. It's like 35 years. That's when you'll see the back of my head. That's the last time you'll see it. It's not like that. Everyone can retire today. It's
Hmm.
not about quitting your job. And I don't think anyone should ever stop working. I think everyone should work until they die. We were given physical bodies. We're supposed to use these bodies, and it doesn't always mean in exchange for money, but in exchange of energy and doing what we are passionate about and loving and love. I love being a nurse, and I'm very skilled at it in terms of just giving really good quality, genuine care to people. It's always a high pressured environment um, with people and doctors and other nurses that don't even know how to take care of their own bodies or their own minds or their own hearts or that doesn't go for every single person. Um, but it's just there's just a lot of things that are unnatural. And I support trauma medicine 100%. But there's
Hmm.
a lot. 90% of our illnesses are caused by stress, and that's a scientific proof. There's a lot of things that we could do to keep ourselves healthy and strong now without medication,
Mhm.
without going to the hospital, but there's possibilities. And I'm not suggesting for anyone to stop doing whatever they're doing with their doctor. Don't stop doing anything unless you have your doctor's approval, but listen to your own body and really just, I think going forward with a metaphysical and a holistic approach to living this life is beneficial to a lot of humans. Our ancestors, um, they did all right without, they had healers, but it was more holistic. There's Chinese medicine, Native American medicine, and African medicine that has been around for thousands of years. I've
Mhm.
even cured several things within myself with African medicines. And it's not these modern drugs and antibiotics that I don't know. Yeah. We have longer lifespans because of modern medicine, of Western medicine, but it's like, is our spirit okay?
Yeah. Wow. Yes. That's the biggest question. Is your
Yeah.
spirit okay? And you in one of the other hats that you wear is you are a holistic life coach. How did you get into that? I can tell that you're very passionate about it. I don't like taking medication unless I just have to,
Yeah.
because I'll do something natural in a minute. I juice a lot. I don't eat meat. I try
Mhm.
to live the best way that I can for the body that I have because we only have one body. So how did you tap into
Mhm.
becoming a holistic life coach?
Well, I'm going to just applaud you for what you just said. That's awesome. I love you. And I don't want to come off as a stringent hippie where I'm just like, only take fruit,
Yeah,
don't take, because we're in a modern time where there is, if you get chlamydia, take the antibiotics. Don't
right,
take a grass, okay? Don't take grass. Don't eat grass.
right.
Take a damn antibiotic. We still have to live in balance with the modern time that we're in. So take the stuff that you got to do. But that I
Mhm,
applaud you for doing the best that you can to be as natural as possible. And that's beautiful. Well, I've had a lot of emotional turmoil and issues my whole life
mhm,
since I was a little girl. And, life doesn't have to be that way, but that's my life experience that I've had. And I've had a lot of internal turmoil, um, for, multiple different things or reasons. But I got coaching from a young woman for a year, and it definitely transformed my life 100%. And even though I still experience anxiety, I still experience fear, and um, I still channel things that are outside of my preferences, but we're in a pretty wild world, so it's like
mhm.
protecting your energy. I'm not a Buddhist. I mean, I'm not in a monastery where it'd just be easy to meditate all day. I'm in
Right.
the modern world. So, but it was something that really transformed my life. It helped me see the world in a different way and not the way that I saw it, which was pretty stringent and closed-minded and very like, oh, you have to do these things, which is a patriarchal and insecure masculine way to viewing life. And
Mhm.
it just changed my perspective. And I wanted to be able to offer that to other humans as well. And I used to work with men and women, but now I just exclusively work with women. I don't work with
Okay.
straight men. I
Mhm.
will work with any if someone identifies as a lady or, feminine identifying, totally. But a straight man, no, because they always do something or fall in love with me, and I'm just like, you're, no, you're confused. Like
Right.
I can't, like I know I'm extremely beautiful and sweet, hot, and tempting, the Panda Express flavor. I don't know it. What is it called? Whatever it is, but it's just like it's like, come on,
Right.
I guess.
Like, don't mess the experience up by being
Yeah.
creepy.
I know, like I know women are it's I don't I mean if I was a man, I would just be in at complete adoration and just being available to serve women all the time. It's like we're just walking angels. A little crazy
Yes.
sometimes, but how can we not be in this world?
Right. Right.
It's like it's just natural right now.
Yeah. Absolutely. So, One of the things that I want to talk about is turning your pain into purpose as the topic.
Mhm.
And that in itself is a great and broad topic. The spectrum is
Mhm.
high. So I think that because of you wearing the different hats that you wear, let's talk about emotional regulation a little bit.
Mm.
Can you kind of explain to the audience what that is and your viewpoint on emotional regulation?
So this is a hard one, and this is something that took me years to understand, is that we are all individually responsible and in control of the way that we feel. No matter what happens outside, we are the ones that can decide how we feel. Even though we are all, most humans, except for people that are born into an Amazon tribe or an excluded African tribe or an excluded Native tribe that has no contact with society. That's a different kind of society that I do not know very much about, but there's a lot more harmony within those tribes. When we're brought up in the world the way it is now in the modern time with technology and with all of these laws and um, identifications and standards, and like you have to be this way, you have to act this certain way, you have to have this certain behavior. Um, of course, we're going to be reactive to what's outside of us.
Mhm,
And there are people in this world that violate us and that try to tear us down with their words. And sometimes it's a lot easier to handle than others, but there's a lot of, for too long of time on Earth, there has been too much hate between human beings.
yeah.
And it's easier said than done. And I'm not saying I still get reactive and but it has a purpose now. And it is more for human life of quality or quality of life, I mean.
Mhm,
And emotional regulation takes multiple different things. It's not that complicated, but it's a responsibility. We're all responsible for the way that we feel. And I'm not saying to be hateful or to just say whatever you want because words can hurt. That's the way we are right now, but we don't have to take it personal. Um, is just to be kind to each other and respect and accept our differences instead of trying to control the way we all are. And
mhm,
um, and also stop giving any kind of social support to people that do commit heinous crimes to other human beings, like
right.
rapists and child molesters and people that are violent and violently murderous or do terrible things to other human beings and torture other people. This, I always talk about trauma and um, really difficult things like that. I personally experienced a lot of things. I've seen a lot of things as a nurse and as a human being. And I just have a strange connection with people who have been enslaved or that have been trafficked and that have experienced a lot of trauma,
Mhm,
which I don't suggest everyone to experience. It's very rough. It's really, humans are crazy. Humans can be rough, and we need to be kinder to each other and be more loving instead of all of these approaches. But it starts from being a baby.
mhm,
People do heinous things because, people have mental illnesses and other things, but that is out of harmony of our true nature. And it is because of all of these structures and this patriarchal approach to control our natural behavior. And our natural behavior as human beings is kind. We do hunt and we do, protect ourselves. We're able to do that. We're biologically installed to do that. Um, but we're just programmed to be outside of the present moment and to be against each other. And it doesn't have to be like that.
right.
And emotional regulation comes through a lot of self-reflection, a lot of self-love, and a very deep connection with the higher power and
Mhm,
an unconditional compassion for oneself. and for other people. And this is, like I said, it's easier said than done. I don't do this. I'm working towards mastery of this. I don't do this all the time. I don't always have this compassion. I don't always have this, understanding or letting things go. It's easier to say it. It's easier to have a distance between those kind of things instead of actually having it in your face.
Hmm.
Um, but it takes a lot of self-reflection, meditation, a desire to want to feel good, because as children, we were a lot better at regulating our emotions. We had temper tantrums when we wanted it, and they ended quickly.
Right.
Most children, not all children, but most children in this world experience joy more than anything else. And the children that do not, it's because of the damn stupid human beings that are taking care of them. Excuse my words, God, but it's just like
Hmm.
it just tearing down a child's spirit by using them and doing terrible things to them is the way to break down a human being, and to the way to make them violent, the way to make them be just not use their life force that they have. So
Right.
the center of this earth, this is literally something I was just reading right now. We cannot get to the center of the earth, which is fine. It's freaking hot as the sun. It's so hot. We don't have the
Hmm.
technology, and I don't want to get to the center of the earth. But the center of the earth has this core that is as hot as our sun. And I was thinking that it's just like every single person, every single individual person on this earth, we have a core inside of us that is like the sun, and it's like a match. And there has to be the right environment, the right temperature, the right um, dryness, because you can't light a wet match. It has to be in the right environment. There can't be any too much wind. You have to have coverage to light that fire. And we all have a fire within us to expand on. And
Yeah.
this life experience as a human being is a very it's something that we should cherish, and it's a
Right.
beautiful experience, and we're supposed to be happy. We're supposed to get along with as many people as possible. We're supposed to be friends with each other, and we're supposed to be creating art, we're supposed to be creating dance and music, and we're supposed to be living harmoniously with nature. These are all supposed to be's, I don't we're in a modern time. Are the most spoiled ever. And we are
Yeah.
so misguided. We are focused on the wrong things. We have a lot of political and economic stuff going on, but we're all focused on the wrong things. We do not have very much time left on this earth safely as human beings. The next 2 generations, in 2 generations, we will experience extreme catastrophic tsunamis, weather changes, unsurvivable droughts, food shortages, and it's because of our modern life. And the biggest thing about our modern time is that we are so spoiled. We have so many things that we want. We live better than kings and queens, and we are not happy.
Yeah.
We should be happy. We should be the happiest ever. Our ancestors worked so hard and went through so many things. There's been so many betrayals through humanity to get to this technology that we're at, and we're miserable
Why do you believe that is, though? Why do you believe that we're so unhappy?
because we're so inaccurately focused on the outside. There is, and I'm speaking of this from having experienced the inside of myself in terms of the non-physical, which is where God lies within all of us.
Hmm.
God is not something that God is everywhere and everything, but it's not something that we can just be like, oh, that's God right there.
Right.
That thing, it's a non-physical thing that I have experienced few short times, and it's amazing. And it's beautiful. And I'm just so grateful for the things that I've learned. And I've learned from other people who are a lot wiser than me. And I'm still on that journey of learning and growing and understanding and expanding in life. I'm this little tiny human being that I get crumbled easily still by certain things. But we're so unhappy because we're holding so many people and things responsible for the way that we feel.
Mm. Hmm. Wow. Wow. So, in your opinion, how do you believe that mind, body, and spirit interconnection goes hand in hand with transforming your pain into purpose, like turning your pain into purpose. How do you believe
Mhm.
that that goes hand in hand?
One thing I forgot to say is that we also don't respect each other.
Mm, yeah,
Not me. There's, of course, I can be disrespectful, but it's not always an initiation that I'm starting. It's
right.
always retaliation. So I do my best.
That's all you can do.
But like I said, I'm a little rough around the edges and I can get into a little trouble sometimes. And I'm doing my best.
Doing your best.
In terms of the mind, you said mind, body, and spirit connection,
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
how integrating all of those can lead us from pain to power. Well, the thing is that I have pain inside of myself from things from a long time ago. And so do billions of people in this world.
Uh-huh.
And the truth is that we can all let it go right now,
Mm,
especially if we're not being tortured. It's
mm,
easier said than done, but there's certain situations where it makes it a lot harder. And that is when we're in physical pain or we're being mistreated or we're being torn down by another person.
right.
Those are situations where it's harder. That's why I just get so irritated and annoyed with people complaining. And I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
your body is intact. Like you can walk. Like your organs aren't sticking out. Like no one is violating you right now. And it's just like too many people are focused on the problem instead of a solution, instead of reflecting on how they energetically and emotionally got into that experience in that situation and making that situation or experience their owner instead of them gaining wisdom. And a more appropriate word instead of owner is victim, being a victim by it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like getting so flushed. I have this thick, it's I'm in Arizona in the desert. I don't know why I wore this shirt. Oh my gosh. I have a heater on
Oh,
and it was like 30 degrees this morning and now it's like
yeah.
85.
Same
So
here.
it's
I'm in Louisiana, so I get it.
and you have humidity though.
Yeah.
Gosh, yeah, I love humidity so much. But I'm getting all heated, a little bit heated. I feel passionate about this and I'm
Mm-hmm.
always fearful because not always fearful, but I know that it's some things that I say can be hard for people to hear, and I'm always afraid I'm going to hurt someone with my words because I know I will, but it's not my intention. Um,
Right. That's what I was about to say. As long as it's not your intention,
yeah,
sometimes people need to hear those things
yeah,
because life is not always going to be sunshine and rainbows, but
mm,
it's how you perceive it,
yeah.
take from it, and grow that would determine how you progress
Hmm.
or regress. That's
Yes, yeah. I just currently have a heater on and I have a cashmere shirt on, so I'm a little bit hot. Are you, I know we're recording and I probably should have changed this to begin this, but literally before we started recording, I was cold and I was like, I'll be fine.
you're fine. Go ahead.
I'm going to turn it off really quick.
Okay.
Okay. And you can look at some art that I have on my walls. Oh, you got art all over your walls. Actually have, I'm an athlete and I have, my athlete bag, my gym bag or whatever, but it's a bag that I used to use when I was in kindergarten. So it has like my school logo on it and but the my outfits or my workout clothes are everywhere that's on the chair because I needed to use that back earlier today but I have like a top but it wouldn't be appropriate for this because it's a bikini top with sparkles on it.
Got
I'm
you.
just saying I would love to wear it though.
Yes. Okay.
I told you I'm multifaceted. I do lots of different things. One thing I like to
And
do is I love making people laugh.
I love to laugh, so that works. That works. But I love the fact that you're into like faith-based healing. Let's talk about that. The faith-based healing because healing is essential. I went
Yes.
through my own personal healing journey like 5, 6 years ago, and it transformed my life because, when you go through like grief, because we had a loss in 2020, and then 2020, the world was just at a standstill with COVID and things like that. But it wasn't until I had to let go of other people's pain and focus on myself that I began to transform because I had to go back to the inner child, little KeKe, and say, I got you. I'm
Hmm.
protecting you.
Hmm.
So that is not an easy thing. It was not easy at all. But because of my faith and my trust and belief in God, I knew that I was going to overcome it because I felt like He was right along with me every step of the way.
Yeah.
So let's talk about faith-based healing. Like,
Yeah.
how did you get into that?
Well, that's so beautiful. I'm so happy for you that you've gone through that journey and have, see the light on the other side of it and have grown from
Yeah,
it. So another thing I applaud you for, and
thank you.
we all have different kinds of wisdoms that we can share with each other.
Mhm,
Um, but our relationship with a higher power, and it doesn't always have to be religious, and there's nothing wrong with it being religious.
mhm,
It's whatever someone feels most aligned with. And it's hard it's hard to put in a word sometimes
mhm.
because it's an unspoken thing. Like when someone passes away, it's something that we're all going to do. We're going to transition from our physical body to a different form,
Right,
and it's not physical. And that's where God lies.
right.
God's non-physical, but physical at the same time. And there is we have this physical world, and we've been given physical bodies to use, and we are to experience work, we're to experience loss and gaining and additions and subtractions. Before we became a human into our physical bodies, we were in this spirit world, and then we chose to come into our bodies. And
Mhm,
then we leave our bodies and we go back to the spirit world. And I think it's very important that we all change our perspective, and not just change, but grow it to a different kind of grace that is doesn't see transitions to the back to the spirit world as a loss,
mhm,
because it's a natural thing. We're in a world with physical bodies and gravity and trees falling and lions and tigers and hippos and spiders and all kinds of freaky things out here and crazy human beings. So we're going to have things happen to our bodies. Doesn't happen to everyone. Um, but it's important to have that perspective shift that when something happens, that it's okay and we don't have to. Grief is it's an unspoken thing that can't be touched, in terms of there's nothing that you can grasp to fix it.
right.
you know, and that's where God is, or God lies, where it's just like this constant, unspoken, unseen per se, unheard presence, along with spirits that are here with us all the time. And I was doing a PhD in metaphysics. I quit because my dog, she got pregnant and she had 11 puppies, so I'm focusing on that. I have five
Wow.
left. Anyone's interested, give me a call. I'm in Arizona. They're really cute. Anyways, I've done studies about the spirit world, and that spirits, and there's different, I don't want to say hierarchies, but there's
Mhm,
different things about the spirit world. When we're sad and we're angry and we're in pain and we're grieving, the spirits can't get through to us. And it doesn't make any sense. It kind of pisses me off because I'm
mm,
like, you don't know what it's like. Ugh. And we don't know what it's like to be we don't remember what it's like to be a spirit because there's nothing but joy and bliss up there. You know,
Mm,
when you're joyful and blissful, do you want to be around someone who's just like a victim and just like, oh my
no,
God, life is terrible? You
right.
don't.
No.
That's a damn spirit world. So damn those spirits. I love them. Don't take that. Okay, I'm like, God, don't. That wasn't anything. It was just um I always try to be careful about my what I feel and think and say.
Say.
Because I don't know. But when we have this sense of pain and betrayal and loss, we can't feel spirit is with us.
Mm,
Because spirit is with us, which is source, also known as God, or also known as a higher power, is always there with us. And it's a presence that's always there. And it's something that I strive for, that I'm gaining more mastery of every single day. I always think about God, though I also think about other things that are crazy. And I'm crazy myself. And that cancels me out from being crazy because I know that, because crazy people don't know they're crazy. So, anyways, developing a relationship with God is something that cannot be touched by another human being. Someone cannot steal it from us. There is a, I still, you know, Jesus is one of my teachers. So is the Buddha. And so is, I don't know much about Krishna, but there's a lot of different wisdoms out there from humans that have been on this earth in the human form that are spirits. We're
mhm,
all spirits, but we're in a human. But people that have been more elevated or enlightened,
mhm,
better word.
mhm,
Um, Jesus said in the Bible, I don't remember what verse, but he says, go into your room, quiet your mind alone with God, and go to the place inside your heart where thieves cannot steal. And our relationship with the higher power, it's personal, it's different for every single person, but it's something that we have an exclusive relationship with that is cannot be torn down. And
right.
that's where faith comes in and where we use our intuition. But faith in this crazy world with external things going around us that are kind of scary and shouldn't be happening or that aren't necessary, like men talking and ruling. You know, women give birth to human beings. It's like it kind of like women are to, I don't know, just saying. There's a lot of ridiculousness going on.
It's a lot of
It's
ridiculousness going on.
Yeah,
Yes.
and I like need a personal assistant and a makeup artist and a hairstylist. You know, I would love all those things. And I think those would things would make me feel so much better, but it's not true. It's like I've
Right.
experienced having tons of money and having all these cars and all these like nice things, and it just doesn't fulfill what I thought I was going to fulfill. It doesn't fulfill that space. There is a space that we all have within us, which is where self-loathing lies, loneliness,
Mhm.
self-hatred, and all of these things lie that we don't have to have or experience. And that's where
Right.
God comes in and fills that.
Right.
It's a secureness, it's a security. It provides a secure cloth. And when we have that faith and that understanding, regardless of what's happening outside of us, there's things that just get more aligned. We are more protected. And even if we experience something to our physical body that is difficult, like disability or violation, we still see it through on the other side. We can take dogs as a perfect example. They are the perfect example of how to unconditionally love and how to unconditionally live this life. They're
Right.
present and they're focused on joy and
Yeah,
loving. They want
that's
to
true.
play and bite a little bit, but one of the puppies, she bit my Achilles tendon today, and I was like, girl,
You okay?
She's still here. So yeah. Oh my gosh, it's so, it's like when we experience pain or when we
Mhm.
experience like certain things, it's like, ah, but
Right.
it's okay, it's I may not make sense to anyone, but I don't
See?
care. It's like I had this vision in my mind of what God looks like to me, and it's
Mhm.
like this goopy blob. And it's like two parts. There's a small space between it, and God's on top, I'm on the bottom. Not being weird, okay? So don't let your mind or the listener's mind go somewhere, okay?
Right.
But God's on top, I'm on the bottom, and I'm smaller, and we're both just goopy and we're dripping with goop. And it's like
Mm-hmm.
this, there's just this space that we are not fully connected yet because I'm physically alive and I'm not
Mm-hmm.
enlightened.
Mm-hmm.
If I were to become enlightened, then I would close that gap. And I don't
Right.
want to do that.
Right.
I don't want to experience that. Enlightenment's crazy and it's boring to me.
Mm.
Like you don't say anything, you don't care about anything. You're just like whatever about everything. You're just really, yeah.
Everything. Yeah.
I have passion. Oh, you
Right. I'm a passionate person too. So I mean I get everything that you're saying, and I hope that the listeners are gaining some insight as well, because everything that you're saying, it does make sense, but it's up for interpretation, you know.
yeah, just like
So
everything. And we all have our own
everything.
perspectives.
Hmm.
And there have been some very wise teachers that have really guided me to a different understanding of life.
Hmm.
I have read the entire Bible, but I was very young when I read it. There are a lot of insightful things in the Bible, though it was written by man and it was in a time where they thought incest, slavery, and abuse to women was okay. It was the right way. No.
Right.
So, but some of the books that have really given me a different perspective and understanding of life is the Four Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz.
Love that book.
Amazing. I always reread it. I need to reread it again. But he
My
was a
favorite one
surgeon.
is don't take anything personally.
Yes. He has the
Mm-hmm.
four agreements, which the first one is don't don't assume it. Don't take anything personal. Don't assume.
Hmm. I don't remember
Always.
all of them.
The fourth one is I always forget the third one. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Or speak with integrity or always
Yes.
speak the truth
Yes.
and then
Hmm.
do your best.
Do your best. Yep.
Yeah. He was a surgeon, so he's native, but I think he was from Mexico.
Hmm.
He's still alive. Great man. He's written several books that are just amazing and mind-blowing.
Hmm.
And I read that book for the first time uh 6 or 7 years ago, and it
Okay.
still took me years to really understand those concepts. And it's a short book. It's
It
brief.
is. It is a very sharp book. I
It's
think I read
very,
it in 2023.
yeah, it's a quick read. It's 2 hour, 2.5 hours on Audible, but I always highly suggest reading it, honestly, page by page, one page day, honestly, or one chapter a week. I don't know, but it's just we have these wisdoms from native kind of places where humans still hold onto those ties of the symbiotic way it is to be alive on this earth with nature
Mm,
instead of all these psychological games. We're too lost in psychological crap
right.
and
I,
we're lost. We're in a very lost society and world right now.
yeah, I
It's
think we need to get back to that place of holistic in nature. I do
we
a lot of
will.
grounding, so I go outside and I
We will.
ground a lot.
We do our best, but if there is a guarantee, we will be forced,
Mm,
not by human, but by nature.
mm,
We will be forced. And I guarantee it, in the next 150 or 200 years, there will be a drastic drop in the human population
wow.
because of our lust for materialistic stuff and technology and be unhappy at the same time
Mm,
and be not ourselves.
wow. But this
But
has been very amazing. This has been amazing. Listen, I have a final question that I want to ask.
yes.
If you could offer one piece of advice to our listeners today who are currently facing pain and looking for purpose, what would it be?
Hmm. Developing a relationship with one's preferences and interests and following their passion. So it's like several things in one. Following your highest passion and not holding other people responsible for the way you feel, not taking things personal. Do the best you can and
I
have
love
just know that we're not alone. We have spirits all around us, but we also have uh, human beings that really care about us and that love us. And even though humans can be really annoying,
mhm.
like I don't have any family anymore, and my new family I have aren't blood related, but they show up for me, and sometimes they drive me crazy. Or I choose to let them drive me crazy, not them. I'm responsible for the way I feel. But
Right.
I'm getting better about my voice.
Well,
It's,
good.
it's all about, it's always a self-reflection and seeing how I can improve and how I can be more of the master of my destiny.
Yeah,
But just
self-awareness.
really, really taking an interest in discovering things outside of what has been instilled in them to how they're supposed to be. Really taking a curiosity to life. I used to be so against pole dancing, and I thought all pole dancers were strippers that were drug addicts and they all had STDs. I was like, they're just crackheads and they just do drugs and just have all these diseases. No, I'm a pole athlete now. I'm a pole teacher. And I'm like, I was so stupid and judgmental. Like I didn't know. It's a
Right.
sport.
It's the sport. It takes a lot. You have to be very strong.
Yes, and I never had that strength until I learned pole, and now I'm a semi badass with it. I do my best. I'm not no pole star yet,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's like life is so short. We're supposed to be enjoying life and having fun. We talk way too much. We talk way too much about crap. We need to be laughing more and joking. It's like maybe talk more like children.
Hmm.
Me and my boyfriend, we talk to each other like kids. We like children. We're just like, oh, are you going homey soony? I'm like, we just silly ways. We just talk like kids to each other. Of course, we have, adult serious talks or whatever, but it's mostly laughter with us,
And that's what I'm about to
which
say.
is
It's the laughter.
joy,
Yeah.
jokes, laughing, being happy,
Yes.
being present, taking space when we need that space because we can't always be happy. We got crazy things in the world,
Right.
and we give birth and we get hurt and we need to rest. So, thank you so much for
Mhm.
listening to my intense
Thank
speak.
you for being here.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for inviting me. This was
I
lovely.
loved it.
I
I
love
know.
seeing
I
your art in
enjoyed
the
you.
background and just being in your presence through the computer. I know we're not in person, but I just feel your energy. You're so gorgeous and you're so beautiful and you just have great energy. And I'm so honored that you invited
Thank
me.
you.
Thank you so much. I
Absolutely, my
appreciate it.
pleasure. And thank you for coming to kick it with me. It has been a delight. That is my daughter's art. She is the
Oh,
artist in the family. So
so
I made all of
amazing.
those. Yes. So,
Thank goodness for you for hanging all of them.
oh yeah. I'm
I have so
sure
much art in my house, like my whole,
I
you see that
see.
painting? I found that on the side of the road because there was one
Really?
chair. It's
Oh,
huge. It covers my whole wall.
wow.
That's where I'm going to paint the image of the way I see God.
Okay.
There was one cut in it and I fixed it. But that canvas, that's
Uh-huh.
like 2 grand. And someone just put it on the side of the road outside
Side
of
of
my
the
house.
road. Wow.
Literally a block from my house.
Wow.
Yeah.
See, it was about like some what they say, one person's junk is another person's treasure. So there you go.
One person's junk is in another person's trunk. And I got some junk in my trunk. I am skinny though. So not that physically much but
Yeah, but it's there.
spiritually I have a big butt.
I love it. I love it. But Jessica Maria, thank you again for coming to kick with me. It has been a pleasure. Um, any last words or anything you would like to say before we get off today?
I don't know. We just gotta lighten up on ourselves and other people. We just gotta laugh at more things
Right.
and
I
just
concur.
really just love ourselves. We're magnificent creatures. We're magnificent beings, and there's so many. We have a whole entire galaxy and universe inside of ourselves, every single person. We all have trillions of cells in us that are working for us and that love us and are focused on us 100% of the time. We are to be happy and not, toxic positivity, but not too much toxic negativity either.
Right.
But yeah, it's really intense when you realize stuff about the truth of life. I guess I don't know.
Absolutely.
There's different ways to live this life, and it's supposed to be beautiful.
Mhm. And we just have to allow ourselves to tap into the beauty of life because we already have a lot of adversity and
Hmm.
all of these things going on.
Yeah.
I try not to focus on the things that I don't have control over.
Hmm.
And the
That's
things that
good.
I do have control over is my happiness or the way
Hmm.
that I allow others to make me feel about certain things.
Yeah.
Going through that healing journey of mine, the things that used to make me upset or get me out of my character, they just roll off me like water now.
I love that. I love hearing that.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's
Yeah.
beautiful.
Yes.
Well,
But thank you guys for tuning
yeah.
in to another episode of Kicking It With KeKe, Life, Love, and all that other shit. I am back every Thursday with a new episode on all streaming platforms. You can watch this episode along with past episodes on my YouTube channel. So go and subscribe. Tell a friend to subscribe. Leave a comment. Follow all the things, right? And we will see you next time. Purple hugs. Later.
Oh, I love that purple hugs. I saw that in your emails.